Hey everyone, welcome back to the Quest of Desolation. It's recap time. Without further ado, we're going to cover all the events that we have seen in Chapter 15. This is the Quest of Desolation, Chapter 15, Rise Up. Landing in a garden, our party takes in their surroundings. Atlasia turns to see a platinum dragonborn, an old friend, Taldarin, son of Bahamut. After a welcome from the Dragonborn, our party seeks rest and to begin a long hike up the mountains of Mount Celestia, in ultimate hopes of reaching the Platinum Palace and finally the Gate of Cosmocourt. Taldarin has a few things to discuss with Atlasia, while the rest of the group gathers insights on their whereabouts, which they later find out is in the second layer of Mount Celestia, known as Mercuria. From here, our party begins walking towards the Gold Tower, meeting an Aasimar Archon along the way named Varen, who informs the group that they are here to guide the party on their quest. The party arrives at a churning lakeside with an islet in the center, and on such a place is a massive golden tower. Using belief and faith, they conjure an invisible bridge across the crashing waves below and into the tower. It is here that they meet High Archon Domil, the golden sword of Celestia, who will test three virtues to see if our party is committed to this endeavor of hiking up this great mountain. The party is thrown into a labyrinth, where they are forced to stick together to test their compassion towards strangers, to test their willingness to sacrifice for the cause, and to face the truth and the fears of their own lives. After what feels like an eternity in a timeless place, each member is awarded with a mithril coin that permits them passage to the next layer up. Departing, our group eventually arrives at the mithril steps, ethereal platforms that rise up like stairs so long as they have the coins they got from Domil. Our party finds themselves in the twilight, snow-laden, chilly third layer of Mount Celestia, known as Venya. Getting some coats, our party goes to the underwater manor of Zoranthador, home of High Archon Erethal. Erethal, an angelic creature made of flowing water, tests the party's ability to seek knowledge in a trial of well springs. The group finds themselves locked in a room with nothing but a few tiles on the ground, a puzzle they must solve if they wish to gain knowledge, but also not drown as the room quickly fills up with freezing water. After several failed attempts to solve the riddle, the party realizes the answer is simple. They need help. And as the tiles illuminate, the room drains and the door is opened to them, now gaining the blessing of Erethal in the form of a black pearl. Erethal presents a vast library of visions. One such vision contains information about Nyx's parents, Thorax Ikagot and Elsies Urksu. And he learned that they left him with Caius intentionally, and that one thing is for certain: they are not dead. Another pearl reveals what brought Kuelias' sister back to life, and another reveals that Rayudrum will likely encounter his mother again someday. Getting guidance from Erethal about where to head next, now knowing that it's okay to ask for help, our party once again sets out on the road, hoping to make it to the Temple of Joining, the birthplace of Lepelon, shortly. At the Temple of Joining, our heroes meet the Temple Guardian Methtath, and then Lepelon himself. They learn about how Lepelon is a fused deity of Pelor, Yondala, and Lathander. From here, they make their way up to Solania and to Ouroboros, the City of Wisdom. Seeking access to the next lair, our party must scour the land looking for the High Archon. Rayudrum learns more about plants on Celestia before our whole group heads to the Soul Forges, where they meet Moradin, god of the forge, who is a massive dwarf blacksmith that has forged many of the great weapons of the multiverse, and is also responsible for the creation of new souls. Moving along, we find ourselves now at the Lotus Garden. a monastery dedicated to nature and solace, where the monks and priests do not speak with their mouths, but instead with their minds and their actions. It is here that Rayudrim has the chance meeting with his mother, Vinradrim, who is excited to see her son once again and note how much he has grown. After a conversation between the two, Vinra reveals that Mr. C, also known as Number One, a leader of the Undershadows, is the man responsible for her death directly. Leaving this monastery, our party returns and recuperates in Ouroboros, where they meet a dwarf that absolutely loves Septagons, which are more commonly called Heptagons, but he doesn't care. It so happens that this causes a bit of dissonance and discourse between Seppi, the dwarf, and our heroes, arguing which is the best shape. In coming to terms with their differences, however, it is revealed that Seppi is actually High Archon Sophia of Solania. Offering tea to our heroes, Sophia causes them to fall into a deep mental trance and finds themselves in a foggy garden with a tree with several golden fruits. Sophia tests them individually on how they would respond to a person in need or a creature in need of food or aid, seeing if they would give up their specific fruit to another person, which, one by one, each of the party members did, proving that they are willing to put others before themselves. Granting a blessing from Sophia, our heroes were able to venture up to the fifth layer of heaven, Mertion. Here, they arrive at the floating sea, a collection of floating rocks and islands. Being funny, or perhaps clever, Nyx pulls the rocks by pointing at them and moving them with his mind, which surprisingly works, and he's able to form a bridge from the floating isles. This brings us by land bridge, or floating land bridge that is, to the Platinum Palace, home of Bahamut. Upon entering the gates, Atlasia is kindly greeted by her mother and father, Tiri and Anarius Sol. From here, our party witnesses the colossal dragon Bahamut land outside before taking Atlasia to his throne room at the pinnacle of the palace for a private conversation. It is here that Atlasia reaffirms her faithful pledge to commit to being the shield and the light and the good in the world, of which Bahamut kindly rewards her with an upgraded armament, the Platinum Guard. It is also here that Taldarin confesses his feelings about Atlasia, and the two share a brief romantic kiss before Atlasia agrees to go on a date with the Dragonborn. Setting our sights ahead now, we look to Empyrea and further to the gate of Cosmicourt. Our heroes depart from the Platinum Palace. They head to Empyrea, the city of tempered souls. Here, they discover that the fountains have healing properties. Trixie goes on a hunt for jars, wanting to bottle up the healing water for later. But in order to do that, Trixie needs to complete an exchange, of which the shopkeep asked her to retrieve the attention of High Archon Rizel. When Trixie cannot find the High Archon, Trixie looks for Rizel's right hand, an individual by the name Varen. After quite a deal of searching, Trixie finds out that Varen is the Archon that had been traveling with them all this time. From here, our party then journeys to the gate of Cosmicourt, of which they jump through to arrive at the Cosmic Court. As time seems to slow down, Urugar is confronted by Magnus, who reminds him that he must preserve the timeline that he disrupted when he pulled Urugar out the first time. Urugar is brought back in time and space to when he and his friends were facing Melikaeok in the open plains of Esmeen. And in just an instant after that, he is returned to the Cosmic Court. The party searches for and locates Tyr, the Grand Judge and Lycre's third brother, who is clearly not in danger. Now able to eliminate the other three brothers as targets, it is clear which brother is, in fact, in need of help: Dakone. Tyr, however, is quick to point out that no one has seen Dakone in millennia, but that his sister Azure might know where he is. In order to find Dakone, we must first find Azure, who is said to live on the anchor plane of chaos beyond the outer planes. To get to that place, however, proves a new challenge entirely. Thanks to the help of Tyr, we return to the material plane, and our party splits up. Half return to the castle Arenovias on the moon Prim to search for information about the plane of chaos, while the other half go to Sunshine City, where Atlasia receives the surprise gift Bahamut promised her. Trixie returns to see Jolathon, wanting to learn more and question Jolathon about any information regarding interplanar travel. When, however, Jolathon is called away momentarily by a sending stone message from Sparks, the director of the OTS. Jolathon then returns to quickly inform Trixie that major events have transpired and she is needed at once at the OTS headquarters in Belterris. Trixie is informed about a series of Undershadow's shell companies that are diverting resources to a major unknown project. That also Nightmare Harbor is now under complete Undershadow's occupation. That the Esmeen attacks are a cover-up for something even bigger, and that the Gold Vault in Luxtrax has been infiltrated, attacked, and robbed. A string of bad news is only further complicated when the rest of the party returns from the Moon Prim to inform that the OTS that they need to track down an Undershadow's drug smuggler named Aranok, of which they can track down an ambush on the shores of Sunshine City 2 days later. Aranok is found to be hauling Pranor, a berserker drug. But that is not what they seek aspect for. They need chaos roots in order to activate a ritual in order to plane shift properly to the anchor plane of chaos. Now gathering what they need after a quick skirmish between Aranok and his crew, our party sets up the ritual to enter the plane of chaos, using 4 chaotic anchors to seal intense wild magic surge explosions into a plane shift spell. Now flying through a pink planar barrier, what is to become of our heroes?